Imagine this, Kyiv has fallen. Ukraine's resistance has collapsed. Western aid has dried up, and Russia declares victory. But this isn't just about who wins or loses. This is about what happens next, because if Russia wins this war, the world will change forever. The current battlefield reality: as of June 2025, the war between Russia and Ukraine has stretched into its fourth brutal year. What began in February 2022 as a full-scale invasion has now turned into a grinding, exhausting war of attrition. Ukraine, once backed heavily by the West, now faces a new phase of fatigue. Russia has changed tactics, more drone strikes, more cyber attacks, and more psychological warfare. U.S. political shifts and elections have slowed military funding. Europe is fractured under the weight of inflation and energy crises. Ukrainian forces are tired, and now the tide is quietly shifting. A Russian victory no longer sounds unthinkable. But let's be clear, a Russian victory doesn't mean total domination. It means Russia keeps what it already holds: Donetsk, Luhansk, maybe even Odessa. Ukraine becomes a landlocked, weakened buffer state. In Kyiv, a puppet regime, loyal to Moscow. NATO's expansion stopped. Finland and Sweden, technically members, but strategically isolated. And most dangerously, trust in Western defense collapses. NATO's credibility in crisis. This isn't just about Ukraine anymore. It's about NATO. The alliance that was once seen as untouchable now looks breakable. If Russia can win, despite global sanctions, international isolation, and billions in Western aid, then why wouldn't China consider invading Taiwan? Why wouldn't Iran escalate in the Middle East? Why wouldn't North Korea test the limits in East Asia? The answer is chilling. Nothing would stop them. The rise of a new global order. A Russian win could spark a new world order, not the one we've known since the Cold War, but something more dangerous. Russia and China would double down on their anti-Western alliance. Iran would grow louder. North Korea, more erratic. Global democracy, weaker. The post-Cold War peace would officially be dead. Emerging powers like India, Brazil, and South Africa, the so-called swing states, might shift away from U.S.-led systems. The result: a divided, multipolar world, one less democratic, one far more dangerous. Could the West still fight back? But let's not lose hope just yet. A Russian victory would shock the West. The U.S. could increase defense budgets. Europe could finally build its own army. NATO would reinforce its eastern flank from Poland to the Baltics. But there's a catch. Rebuilding global trust takes years. And in geopolitics, years can mean the fall of entire countries. Conclusion: the final thoughts. The war in Ukraine was never just about Ukraine. It was always about the world, about international rules, about power, about the future. And if Russia wins, borders won't matter like they used to. Treaties won't protect like they once did. Power will speak louder than principle, and the world it won't exist anymore.